Welcome into 5 Wide. Today we look at one team in the AFC and one team in the NFC that are Super Bowl contenders in 2023, but nobody seems to be talking about them. Guys, if you enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. Help us to get to 30,000 subscribers here on the OwnersBox YouTube channel. We're going to start in the NFC with a team that is making a quarterback change, one they haven't made in a long time. And that makes the range of outcomes very wide for this team. Their team total for the season at DraftKings is set at just 7.5 wins. They have the longest odds to win their division. That is the Green Bay Packers. And as much as this quarterback change leaves those outcomes for this season in a very wide range, that doesn't mean the rest of this roster isn't in position to win right now. You look at the defense, the edge spots, looks very good. Rashawn Gary, obviously, tore his ACL last season, but was on pace to have his first double-digit sack season of his career. You have Kenny Clark on the opposite side, and then the addition in the draft in the first round of Lucas Van Ness should definitely help them to continue to be an elite edge rushing unit this season. Also, in the secondary, you have All-Pro Jair Alexander, who had 5 interceptions in 2022. There are pieces in this secondary between Alexander, Rasul Douglas, Darnell Savage that make this a very good unit. The biggest problem for them on the defensive side was being able to stop the run. They were 28th in opponent EPA per rush, but they get 2 kids from Georgia, 2 sophomores heading into their second season in Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt that can certainly help them be better in that department. On the offensive side, Aaron Rodgers was halfway out the door in 2022. I don't think there's any way you could disagree with that. His numbers were way down. He was 23rd in the NFL in completion percentage. He was 25th in the NFL in yards per attempt amongst quarterbacks, and he had the second most deep targets, but was completing at the 26th lowest rate in the league. That is going to kill you offensively. If you are pushing the ball downfield at a very high volume, but not at an efficient rate, that is going to kill your offense and put you in a very difficult position to be able to move the football and score points. So Jordan Love comes in, and as well, with Jordan Love's addition, this is an opportunity for Matt LaFleur to lean on what was an efficient ground game last season. Aaron Jones averaged 5 yards per carry in 2022. He was the second highest graded running back in the league behind Josh Jacobs. Jordan Love comes in, and I do think he's ready to play. I'm not here telling you that I think this is a guy that's going to be better than a future Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers. But again, like I mentioned, this is an Aaron Rodgers season that was nowhere on the level of a Hall of Famer. Jordan Love was good. He had 4 games that he suited up in or took the field in and was very solid in those stints. He completed over 66% of his passes. He averaged 9.3 yards per attempt. Of course, these are games that are hard to take into account, but I do think Jordan Love, sitting on the sidelines, is ready. And Christian Watson had a breakout finish to his rookie year. Romeo Doubs was another great option. And then they bring in Jaden Reed out of Michigan State. The pieces are in place here. This is a very gettable division as well. When you look at where the Chicago Bears are at, coming off of just a couple of wins last season. The Detroit Lions are the favorite here, a team that perennially has been a massive disappointment in the NFL. And then we have one of the luckiest teams in football from last season that's due for some regression in the Minnesota Vikings. The Green Bay Packers are being disrespected. This roster is still very good, and they also benefit. Forget about this sometimes. They benefit from not making the postseason last year by getting some of these teams that will help them in a bit of a weaker schedule. 8 of their first 9 games are against teams that did not make the playoffs last year. And the one team of those 9 games that did make the playoffs was the Minnesota Vikings. Look out for this Packers team. A $10 wager at DraftKings is going to pay you $600 if this team is as good as I think they can be and gets themselves to a Super Bowl in 2023. Before we get to our final team here, our team in the AFC, guys, if you are looking to bet on either of these teams, or if you're looking to open a new sportsbook account for the upcoming NFL season, no better place than DraftKings. At DraftKings, it's a perfect place if you're a new sports bettor or you're a low bankroll sports bettor. An awesome promo for you that if you haven't signed up at DraftKings, you need to take advantage of right now. I would be surprised if this offer might not make it to the NFL season. Sign up, deposit, and place a wager of just $5. You're going to get $150 in bonus bets to be able to use. So again, DraftKings is offering this exclusively. I'll include that in the description and as well in the pinned comments if you guys do want to check that out. In the AFC, we move to a team that if you placed a $10 wager on would pay $400 to win the Super Bowl this season, and that is the Cleveland Browns, a team whose season and success is solely on the shoulders of Deshaun Watson, their quarterback that they paid a ton of money last season and came into the year, and the numbers in his 6-game stint after his suspension were horrific, terrible. 32nd amongst 41 qualified quarterbacks in turnover-worthy play percentage, the 37th best completion percentage, again amongst 41 qualified QBs, that's 4th worst, and he was 31st in yards per attempt at just 6.5 yards. Now, of course, comes into the season very late when the Browns really weren't in much of contention, and as well didn't have the opportunity to have that full offseason season. Because again, the Browns had to play 12 games without Deshaun Watson in 2022. All I can think about are these 2020 stats, man. This guy is still 27 years old. I do still think his best football is still there and can be found with an offseason of prep here heading into 2023. In 2020, he had an over 70% completion percentage. That ranked 4th at the position. He had a turnover-worthy play rate of just 2% in that season, 2nd at the position. He had the most passing yards in the league at over 4,800 yards. So not only did he take care of the ball, and he also completed passes at a high level, he also had 33 completions of 20-plus yards, which was 2nd in the league, and he had the 5th best deep ball completion percentage at almost 50%, 49.3%. He can make explosive plays. He can be efficient. Everything is here. He needs to be able to put it together this season, but he also has a fantastic group here to work with, maybe the best of his career. He gets to pair his offensive play with one of the most efficient running backs in the league in Nick Chubb. He averaged 5 yards per carry last season on over 300 carries. He had a breakaway run rate of 7.6%, which was 7th at the position. With that kind of volume, that type of efficiency, and that ability to create explosive plays, that's something you do not find in this league, and you get to pair Deshaun Watson with it, which makes it very exciting. And again, moving past just these two pieces, the offensive line is one of the best in the leagues. Came off a down year last year. PFF just actually released their offensive line power rankings for the season, have them 2nd on the list, and I can't blame him for it. Jedrick Wills, Joel Bitonio, the center Ethan Posich came in, and he had a very good year, allowed just 1 pressure last year. Also have Wyatt Teller and Jack Conklin on the other side. This offensive line is very, very talented. I expect to bounce back. Watson gets some good pass catchers to throw to here. I really like the addition of the dynamic talent that is Elijah Moore to help them be more explosive after the catch, which was missing last season, and as well fill in that slot role that's kind of been missing in this offense. Very excited about that on the offensive side. Everything is here for Deshaun Watson to bounce back in 2023. On the defensive side, which we haven't even talked about yet, the defense has one of the league's best pass rushers. Myles Garrett led the league in pass rush win rate at 22.5%. He added 16 sacks, did that now in back-to-back seasons, and now he gets Zadarius Smith, which I think will be a very good upgrade over Jadeveon Clowney. On the other side, he had double-digit sacks in 2022. And the secondary, another group that had a down year like the offensive line, it has all the makings of a bounce back. There is so much talent here. Denzel Ward had a tough year coming back from his summer foot injury. Martin Emerson really took over as probably their best guy. He had a 53.9% completion percentage when targeted, one of the tops in the league at the corner spot. Then you have Grant Delpit, Greg Newsome. Then we have Juan Thornhill added from the Chiefs in free agency. This is the best roster Deshaun Watson's ever had. The sportsbooks are respecting them as well. Their win total is set at 9.5. I like them to get 10 plus wins this season, and they're a team at plus 4,000 you absolutely need to get on, because I can see them potentially winning the AFC North, but certainly being a team that makes the postseason and give you a great return on this price at plus 4,000 at DraftKings. All right, those are my 2 contenders, one in the NFC and the AFC for the 2023 season. Be sure to go bet that over at DraftKings. 2 of my favorite teams here that people are definitely overlooking heading into this year. And as well, we mentioned this on Sunday, but you can still enter the giveaway for Peace Collective. I'll include their link as well. Peace Collective has awesome vintage sports apparel for some of your favorite teams in the NFL, NBA, MLB, you name it, they have it. So if you guys were looking from the previous video, all you got to do is comment down below with the link to some gear that you would like at Peace Collective, and we will be picking a winner in not our next video, on Sunday's video. So be sure to do that if you're still looking to get in on the giveaway as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, help us get to 30,000, grow this community for you guys, and we will see you on the next one.